Still looking at the equation of a line in 6.6. This next page here is looking at two new definitions. We are going to use these definitions, guess what I'm going to say, forever. From now on, you need to know what an x-intercept is and what a y-intercept is. And we'll use these all the time, and this is our 1 year where we're going to define it. And then after this, we're going to hope that you keep remembering these definitions. And we will use this all the time. Again, even in the grade 12 course when I teach that, we still use x-intercept, y-intercept all the time. So x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. So it's where the line crosses the x-axis. It's when y equals 0. The y-intercept is when the line crosses the y-axis, which is when x equals 0. So when I look at that, I'm going to draw this on the side just so you can kind of picture it. So for the x-intercept, I'm going to draw it over here. Okay, so this x-intercept here, I'm going to show you what it looks like over here. So the x-intercept is this. If I have my x and y axis, this is x and this is y. Okay, that's x and y. So if my x and y axis, an x-intercept is where the line, right, we're drawing lots of lines, crosses the x-axis. So this is my x-axis, and I want the line crossing the x-axis. That is where it crosses the x-axis. So if we take this and I cross the x-axis, so wherever my line is, this is my line, this is the x-intercept. So this is my x-intercept. That's what I'm talking about, right? That point right there. Now, that is also when y will equal 0. So when I write the coordinate of that, I know it'll be x, comma, 0. So that's what this is saying, is that my y coordinate, when I write it like a coordinate, is when y equals 0. Okay. Then for this one, for my y-intercept, I'm going to just draw it on the side just so you can picture what it's saying. So if I have a y-intercept like this, then it says when this is y and this is x, y-intercept, when I have a line, so I'll just draw it here in pink, doesn't matter where it goes. There you go, so this is my line. My y-intercept is when it crosses the y-axis. So for this example, it'd be right here. So I'm looking at that point. So where it crosses the y-axis. So one more time. This is an x-intercept, so that's when it crosses the x-axis. So if you've got the line wherever it touches the x-axis. For a y-intercept, it's wherever the line happens to touch the y-axis. So right there. And if you were to write it as a coordinate, that coordinate would be 0 for x, comma, y, whatever the y value is. So x-intercept is when it crosses the x-axis. Y-intercept is wherever it crosses the y-axis. So for instance, if I have just a line on the side, I'm just going to draw a little example here. If I have this, I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, so I'm getting you an example ready here. So if I gave you this, and I said, here's a line, this point here, that coordinate, or this value right here, 3, that is the y-intercept. So that's the y-intercept. So my y-intercept, and sometimes we write short form y-intercept, would be at 0, 3. So if you write that as a coordinate, that would be at 0, 3. Here, if I have an x-axis, this value here, that would be my x-intercept, would be at -2, 0. Does that make sense? So this is called my x-intercept, and this is my y-intercept. So when it crosses the y-axis, that's my y-intercept, and wherever it crosses the x-axis, that's my x-intercept. And that's a definition you're going to have to know from now on. Now, knowing those two definitions, x-intercept and y-intercept, I want you to, and we'll bring it back to the equation of a line. Ah, there you go, so it hasn't gone away. I want you to find the equation of a line. And I told you it has an x-intercept of 3 and a y-intercept of 5. So I have two things I told you. It has an x-intercept of 3, and then I have a y-intercept of 5. Y-intercept of 5. So there's an x-intercept of 3 and a y-intercept of 5. So my x-intercept, I want you to do what I was showing you here. I want you to write it like a coordinate. So x-intercept of 3 would be 3, 0. My y-intercept of 5 would be 0, 5. Right, so x is 3, and then 0, and the y-intercept would be 0 for x and 5 for y. These two are my 2 points. And when I want to write an equation of a line, so remember, when you write an equation of a line, I'm just going to remind you one more time, one more time for now. It's y equals mx plus b, and we're always filling in the m and the b. So we want to fill in the m and the b. I don't have the m or the b, so this is your brain thinking this. So in order to find the equation of a line, I need to find m and I need to find b. I have 2 points. So these 2 points, and we know how to write it, right? X-intercept is 3, so it's 3, 0, and y-intercept is 5, so 5 is the y and 0. These are my 2 points, and we're going to use them like this. x1, y1, x-intercept is 3, y0, and this is x2, y2. These are 2 separate points. So when you think about this on my line, right, these are 2 separate points. This is not 1 point together. Some people go, oh, is it 3 and 5 together? No. What it is here, so when you think about this, I'm going to just draw it on the side. It doesn't ask you to draw it. This is just your brain, and I'm trying to show you what it looks like. So if I have this as my brain, it's telling you the x-intercept is 3 and the y-intercept is 5. It's 2 separate points. It's not together, and that's why I said, can you write it as a point? So this is actually, this point here is 0, 5, and this point here is 3, 0. So that's why I asked you, can you write it as 2 separate points? Knowing that, then we can go ahead and find the equation of the line. So how do we find the equation of the line? We are going to find m, title it. So title first, right? I want the title first, and then I want the equation. M equals, put the line in the middle, right? If you've been watching these videos, I'm repeating myself, so it's line in the middle, lowercase m, lowercase, equation, and the equation is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, and what did I say in the other videos? These are subscript. You have to write this properly. Subscript, subscript, not squared. Subscript. That means not to the power of 2, not to the power of 1, so those guys there. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, make sure you look at the other videos as well. Okay, so those are written properly. Subscript. So I'm going to say one more time. Not y squared. Not squared, right? So not squared. Okay, you shouldn't have to know that. That's your brain thinking that, so we got that written right. I have my 2 lovely points here, so it's exactly like the old question. So equals, I look how I'm lining up in the middle, and I have the equal signs here. y2 is 5 minus y1 is 0. x2 is 0 minus, and x1 is 3. So you're filling in this formula. 5 minus 0 is 5. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Whenever I get a negative in the bottom, right, just like what we did in the numeracy sections earlier in the year, its negative has to move up to the top. We never leave it in the bottom. Top or middle, I like it in the numerator. It's more useful to me there. So I put it in the top. So that's good. The second part of this is I want to find, right, when I do an equation, I need m and b. So I need to find b. Okay, so let's find b. So how do I find b? Y equals mx plus b. Again, I want you to title it, and I want the formula. And now you're going to sub in. So you're going to sub in. What am I going to sub in? M goes in for the m, and then either one of those 2 points. Now, hang on a second. So usually I sub in either one of those points, but this one here, y-intercept is 5. What's the b that I'm looking for again? That one stands for y-intercept. So this, right away, is also b equals 5. So you don't need to find b. You can skip this whole step. Okay, if you forget and you find it, that's okay. But also, so when I get this information, y-intercept is this, also b is 5, I write this down right away so I don't have to do this step. So I can skip that step, and I already have my answer. So I can go straight to, therefore, y equals negative 5 over 3, and I asked you to put the x in the middle. Okay, not in the denominator for sure, not at the top. You can, closer to the top is fine, but try to put it in the middle. And then my b is the 5. So we've got it right here, and you don't have to find b because you actually were given it. If you forget and find it, that's okay. You're just wasting a bit of time, right? So if you have this, and I said y-intercept is 5, it's a point, and it's the b, which is right here. So I can plug it right into the b right away. You can skip a bit of time, skip a few steps, which is always nice. Okay, we're going to try that on the next page. It's from graphs, so I'm going to stop the video here.